Hi everyone, I'm here with Eric from Break from Reality Games, and we're going to talk with him about their inaugural game,
yes.
their first release, Disaster Looms.
Yeah.
So if you just want to go ahead and give us a brief overview about the game.
Sure. So Disaster Looms, the story concept is essentially the Earth is doomed. It's not in the too far distant future, and essentially the Earth's governments are bereft of power or resources to be able to do anything about it. So essentially, it's up to the corporations to save humanity. Fortunately, players are CEOs of a large corporation that have achieved space flight. They have one ship. They're starting out on Earth and basically selling tickets to the highest bidders to get out, explore, and find colonizable worlds to move their customers. So the concept of the game is essentially exploration. There's an interesting research mechanic. The game scales and risk and reward as you go through the various exploration decks. You can see an A, B, and C deck of cards. Likewise, in the technologies, there's also an A, B, and C deck of cards. So the game starts out kind of pretty basic and gets really complex fairly quickly as you're going through the cards. The game ends when either all the customers are rescued from Earth and placed on colonies, or in the C deck there is a Cataclysm card, which I should have had preset. There it is. A Cataclysm card that once that is drawn, that also ends the game. So it's set up to basically have an hour and a half game time, which we think is a pretty reasonable time for a strategy game. Long game or a first game might be 2 hours. Short game, either you're exploring very quickly or you're really good at moving customers, will be about an hour.
Great. And so obviously this is on Kickstarter right now. Can you tell us a little bit about that project and how people can help out?
Sure. So we've been working on the game since April of last year. So we're 16 months into the development of Disaster Looms and the Kickstarter project. We're funded. We actually funded this past Tuesday. We're now heading toward overfunding. Basically, if you go follow the link tinyurl.com/disasterlooms, it will take you to our Disaster Looms Kickstarter page. For $50, you can get a copy of the game and qualify for the overfunding rewards. At $65, you get that, plus you also get an 18-tile expansion set that's going to be Kickstarter exclusive.
Great. And so obviously this is your first game. Are there future plans for games from your company?
Yeah, actually we've got 3 games in development right now. We will be announcing and starting to do some open play tests, and you can actually, if you're interested in playtesting, let us know. We do have some groups, but we're looking for more. We have a new game that we're going to be announcing here soon that is a co-op space game with timers, and everybody's basically trying to save the spaceship that they're on. It's a very intense, high-pressure game with 15-second timers, and it's very, very expandable and variable in the type of, scenarios that you can play with the game. We have an adventure game that we're looking at doing that's about a month away from going into playtest. And then we have a couple other concepts that are essentially ready to playtest.
Great. So you mentioned that the project has been funded. What kind of stretch goals are there to motivate people to?
Sure. That's a good question. So as of this recording, we're at about $28,400. We needed $25,000. Our first overfunding goal is at $30,000. We're going to include metal commemorative tokens for first player. So something for people to fiddle with. We know we love to fiddle things when we're playing games. When we hit $35,000, we have an additional mini expansion that we're going to include with the game called Ricochet Rock Jockeys, which is an asteroid mining game. where we use some of the components from Disaster Looms and we add a couple of components as well. And that is going to be, it's kind of a little bit of a party game, but it's about 30 minutes long. It's essentially space bumper rockets. It's pretty fun. And then finally, the 40,000, which is what we're really trying to achieve. If we hit that, that is going to be a full 5 to 6 player expansion that we're going to include with the game. So it'll be released with a 2 to 4 plus the 5 to 6 player expansion. The 5 to 6 player expansion, we also have additional content, which are CEO and corporation cards, which give you kind of random startup benefits, as well as potential boons at the end of the game.
Great. And so people should probably go support it right now, right?
Absolutely.
Great.
Tiny URL at or tinyurl.com/disasterlooms.
Great. So check it out. Thank you so much for your time.
Sure. My pleasure.
And we hope to see this, in print very soon.
It's
So
going to be. We're hoping to release. We're actually printing domestically, which is unusual for a Kickstarter. Actually, out of Indiana. And we should have the game in stores, we're hoping, by the end of August, early September. So hopefully in the hands of our backers before then.
great. We'll look forward to seeing it then.
All right.